On Hulu, continuing with the Star Trek films, I watched Star Trek Generations from 1994. I remember when this came out, we didn't see it in theaters. There was like quite a mixed response to it and such. We ended up renting it on like video. It was either early 95 or late 94 or something like that. I think I went and saw Richie Rich when this was in theaters. Yeah, did I make the right choice? Hard to tell, right? So, this one has probably the least amount of science. There's just something coming out of my nose. I mean, you guys can tell me, right? This one is so much fantasy, it's hard to keep straight. There's a lot of plot holes, a lot of motives lacking and such. So, we have this champagne bottle going through space. It hits the Enterprise. It says Enterprise in CC 1701-B, new ship, a new generation. They still have the Rathacon to them present uniforms. And now we have Cameron Fry from Ferris Bueller. He's the captain. We also have Vasquez from Aliens. There's a Klingon that shows up in this movie that was in Terminator. And of course, Vasquez was in Terminator 2. Jeanette Goldstein. Brian Jones, is it Jones? Johnson? He was Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation, one of the worst movies ever made. So, yeah, these are things that appear in the movie. Glenn Morshore, he's in like all the Transformers movies as some general or colonel or what have you. He's a bodyguard on 24, Secret Service. You know, there's some faces here. They're ready to launch this new ship. There's media aboard with obnoxious Google Glass 3.0. We have Kirk, Chekhov, and Scotty appear. And you're kind of thinking, why these three? If we're going to limit it to three, wouldn't it be Spock and McCoy? Oh, but they felt like that 6 was a good end for the series, so they're not here. And there were some script problems. Oh, but you wanted Leonard Nimoy to direct, huh? Well, I think he had some script issues. It's like, hey, these lines for Spock could have been said by anybody, and then they eventually are. So, what was the point of him being there? You know, if there's no value to the character being there, it's like, oh, what give? Well, they got a quick jaunt just testing things out on the ship, but there is a distress call. And this ship looks a little more like the Excelsior, by the way. At least the lower part. Maybe it has that transwarp drive, what have you. So, they go and answer the call. There's some ship stuck in some energy ribbon. And they're like, okay, we gotta get these people out of here. Teleport. Oh, we're having trouble with the teleporter. Kirk goes and gets on it, and now he's an engineer, I guess. They get the teleporter things fixed up. They rescue the people. Some of them. The others lost to the ribbon and an explosion, ship, what have you. Something like that, right? But then we have, we're like, okay, so everything's fine, right? There's panic. Maybe this guy wasn't really ready to be captain because Kirk takes charge. And they're calling him Captain Kirk here. I can't really keep track of how long this was after the Undiscovered Country, part 6, but anyways, they're like, hey, where's Kirk? Well, we lost him, he's dead. And part of the ship got taken out by this energy ribbon. Now we go and we're on the high seas. We have a prisoner being brought up, it's Worf. Yes, you can tell they're doing some role play stuff from the holodeck, right? And they're like, okay, you're guilty of following orders, you're being promoted. And they have a laugh with him. Then he has to go and get this cap that's hanging out on this plank. He jumps, he grabs it, like, oh, yeah, it works. Computer, remove plank. Whoop, he falls in. Everybody has a laugh. Data's like, why is everybody laughing? Oh, it's fun, it's unexpected. Pushes the doctor in the water, and then everybody gets mad at Data. And he's like, what, that wasn't funny? No, that's not funny. What the hell? Violence towards women, guys, in the future. No, not good, I guess. Anyways, yeah, I said I didn't want to go over there, didn't I? We have a situation has been brought to Picard's attention. He doesn't really want to say what it is, so he reveals it later. There's a fire. His brother and nephew died. The Picard name is dead. Well, it's not too late for you to have some kids, Picard. Get busy. But this is brought up for convenience of what we have happening later in the movie, right? Well, there's a science outpost that has been decimated. They go in, recover the situation. There's a banged up guy. They rescue him. His name's Dr. Sauron. You'll recognize him. He's, what's his ass from that movie about the rapist, Clockwork Orange. Yeah, he's like bad guy du jour. You could really get him cheap in the 90s. It's kind of weird what he gets into around this period of time. Like, shit, like any Fist of the North Star movie never made it to the U.S. Tank Girl, I'm not even sure if that played in the U.S., maybe limited release. But we have him there. I forgot his name. Hell, he's probably old enough he's about to be dead, I don't know. Well, we recognize that he was aboard the ship that got rescued at the beginning of the movie, along with Whoopi Goldberg, Gaiman, who we know is like this race. They're really of the same cloth. They're these listeners. They're old. They observe the universe. Several centuries old, look human, but they've been around a block, I guess. Well, he's got this plan to rejoin with the Nexus, this energy ribbon that was featured earlier. It's coming back around on its like 34-year cycle or what have you. And it's coming back around this area, and he's going to get back in the Nexus. Gaiman's been there before. She says it's like this wonderful place. You never want to leave. Well, if this guy why did he leave? If it's his choice to leave, why did he leave and now he wants to go back? What's that shit? How come that was never brought up? If it brings you this great happiness, this Matrix place, keep eating the tasty wheat, right? Doesn't make any sense. Oh, but he can't get a ship there because he's worried it's going to blow up. Maybe he was trying to get a ship there at the beginning. It's hard to tell. What was his deal with the science thing? Well, they find out that there's trilithium. Yeah, we have dilithium crystals, now we got trilithium. Real powerful stuff, I guess. The Klingons want it, the Duras sisters. They actually appear in Next Generation. They were of this house that didn't get line of succession to the presidency of the Klingon Empire when Kirk had to decide who was going to be leader. Instead, he gave it to the guy that looked like the bad guy, but in that case, he wasn't as bad as the others for the time being. You know, the guy with the real bulbous eyes, the light bulging out, that Klingon guy, whatever his name was. If you watch Star Trek, tell me who it was. Anyways, these Duras sisters want to attack the Enterprise and get their trilithium stuff. They've got to deal with Sauron. Well, Geordi and Data go aboard the ship, and they discover the trilithium and all. But I guess they have, what was it they needed? Like the codes for how to get it. Sauron takes it from them, the ingredients that are on a USB drive, essentially, data card, what have you. Roughs up Geordi. Data's scared. He used this emotional chip. Big problem with this movie, the Data emotions all coming at a time. Now Data is just this goof. Data, one of the more interesting characters, has been reduced to comedy fodder. So he's a coward, he's laughing too much. He's laughing at jokes from the series premiere, Farpoint Encounter. It doesn't really add up. It's not that entertaining, really. It just gets on your nerves. I think that really struck a chord for audience and they like vote down, right? Same for critics. So Sauron is going to blow up a star with a rocket using this trilithium. And that's going to put the planet he's on, Viridian 3, in way of this energy ribbon. And you're like, why not just chance it with a ship or transport into it? No, this is your most logical approach. Oh, we're not sure if ship was right. Give it a shot. Is this guy really evil enough to kill like 260 million people in the solar system for this? It's like, what gives with this dude, right? So, he accomplishes that. The Juris sisters take down the Enterprise. It crash lands for like 10 minutes. Everybody's getting shaken up aboard. As Red Letter Media pointed out, glass breaks all over the place, even though, as we're said in Voyage Home, it's transparent aluminum. It's not going to crack like that. It's not going to shatter. You know, what did we have going on this franchise? We're kind of starting the Next Gen series on a bad note, aren't we? So, at least from the science view, Picard, have I been calling him Kirk? He gets into the energy ribbon, the Nexus, with Sauron. It passes through him, and then Picard has this experience this Christmas morning. He has a family. His nephew's now alive. Oh, but he's his son. It's kind of freaky. Gaiman appears. Hey, I'm not really Gaiman. I'm an echo of someone who was once here. How the hell does this work, science? Shit. I don't even understand the rules for this place. Oh, I can't help you. I'm just an echo, but there is a guy here who's new to the Nexus who might be able to help you. It's Kirk. He's chopping some wood. Claims, hey, where am I? Oh, hey, this is my house. What time is this? Oh, hey, I can go back in time. You know what? The galaxy owes me. Picard's like, well, I'm Captain of the Enterprise in the future. I need your help. You gotta go Viridian 3 with me. Fight this guy Sauron. There's lives at stake. So while they have that talk out, Kirk slowly warms up to him after some spirited horseback riding and nothing much. They go to the planet. Sauron's like, who's this guy? Whatever. They fight. They have a scuffle over the missile. The Enterprise is downed already. Saucer section has crashed. Could we have gone back in time and stopped more of this? Made it a little less urgent? Made it to where it's not a life and death matter? Oh, hey, you're aboard the Enterprise in 10 forward. And then 10 forward. Arrest your ass there. Do you even need Kirk? Oh, well, now Kirk's getting roughed up. He has an incident with a bridge. It kills him. But Picard reprogrammed this rocket, so instead of firing up to the sun, it blows up, kills Sauron, and it's kind of weird how it cuts in on him extra, and then it blows up. It's kind of weird. Crash zoom intimate. Crash extreme close-up. But it's not a crash. It's just a cut to extreme close-up from the medium or crop. Anyways, Picard goes into the wreckage where this British incident happened, where Picard had to get some device to uncloak the rocket so that Picard could reconfigure it. And he's banged up, and he's like, it was fun. Oh my. If you want to make fun of Shatner's acting, this is where you do it, guys. This is your death scene for the iconic Captain/Admiral Captain Kirk. It's weird. It's the most Shatnerian delivery. I don't think anybody liked it. And then I guess Picard drug him up atop a rock and half-heartedly buried him under some more rocks. And then a transport ship comes by, what have you, shuttle, should have said shuttle, comes by, picks up Picard. He heads over to the saucer section where everything's in disarray. One of the things he picks up when he's going through the area is the Kurlan NASCAR. Sounds like he's saying Kurlan NASCAR when he says it in Next Generation. When he's presented with this ancient relic, he acts like it's the Holy of Holies. Like, I am Indiana Jones and I have found the Ark of the Covenant. That's his reaction. Now here he's like, oh hey, this thing I'll just put that on the ground. It's not like, oh my god, at least it's safe. Maybe for a movie that would have drawn too much attention. I don't know. Oh, also the Klingons that were bothering them this time, the Dura sisters, them with the Sheo Khan aboard, they got taken out. There was kind of an interesting thing with them where they wanted the frequency for the shields of the Enterprise. They're sitting around cloaked observing, and they had hacked Geordi's visor, but not the sound. So they're looking, and he gets to a screen and it shows the stuff, and they zoom in, and then they're able to attack from there. But Riker and crew, while Picard was dealing with Sauron, fired back at them with by jamming their signal, reversing it so they didn't have shields. Oh, but they didn't have shields, but now they're cloaked. Well, I guess you just know where they are. So they were able to shoot them down, and that worked out for them. And Dura sister's gone. One of them is kind of cute. I'll give her that. And yeah, you know, we're going around through the wreckage of the Enterprise, and we're saying, well, we'll have a new ship soon enough. I don't think this will be the last Enterprise. Is that the kind of thing you say when you're not sure if there's going to be more movies? And then they get aboard the Frigate or something, and they just head out to the stars. You know what's weird about this movie? There's a lot of scenes where it looks pretty good. It looks pretty fine. It looks like a movie. It looks like a 90s movie. And then there are times where this looks like a Next Generation episode. A lot of that fight with Sauron looks like a Next Generation episode. It really does. There's a lot of ship interior parts where the lighting is really unique. Then times it's not. Not everybody aboard the ship really gets utilized. Oh, Counselor Troy, what are you going to do? Take the helm. Whatever. Oh, I'm sure she's qualified to do this shit. I'd rather have Beverly do it. Crusher. What, isn't she like third in line? Second in command? Behind Picard, what have you? Second in line of succession, whatever. I think she'd been in charge of some stuff before. I mean, that kind of would have made some more sense to me. Yeah, there's too much fantasy here. The science is all bad. You don't want to say something about the science? Some of the worst science in. It's like J.J. Abrams watched this and it's like, that's the science we need, because this rocket, I know it's not Earth, but the sun's not right next to this damn planet. It gets to this planet in no time. This rocket was not going warp speed. It takes like 8 minutes doesn't it take like 8 minutes to get to somewhere from at light speed from the sun? I think I heard something like that shit. This thing's not going light speed. It doesn't go faster than light speed. It's just a basic ass rocket. It takes out this sun in no time. Even if you want to say there's a fictional thing aboard the rocket that gives it the power to take out a sun, you have to question how Sauron even got out of the Nexus willingly. And you can just kind of wish yourself away from it to anywhere you want to be in time, but you don't choose a good spot. Shit. Yeah, I do like Stewart here, even though when it comes to politics he's a bit of a prick, but he's British. What does he know about American politics? And I know that may sour opinions on blah blah whatever. So. But you know, there are times where this is a decent movie and times where they really cash it in. And as fast as rockets hit planets and shit, you know, think about seeing that in Abrams' Trek in 2009, where like Vulcan gets taken out and whatever. Star Trek Generations, I give it 2 out of 4 stars. See you next time with one that I think everybody considers the best Next Generation film, First Contact.